Hello, can you hear me?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yeah, let me see. Let me make sure I record the video. Now let me see. Okay, so the video is recording. Yep, good. Okay, so sorry about that. Been busy, and with the business trip. How
Mm-hmm.
you been?
I'm doing all right. It's getting chilly.
Okay, you been have you been refreshed reviewing?
Yes.
Okay, good. So let's continue now. So since we already 5 minutes late in here, the meeting. Well, first thing, you see my screen, right? You see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, good. So now, see from the last the demo that we already complete, right? Between configure SSRP about the failover the gateway, right? Because since we have the treat this as a layer two switch, because we don't have a routing sharing between, So, but in this case, because we reside all the gateway between these two router. So now, so for example, in here, see if I'm in the router right now in the BPS router in here, when I show standby here, oh, come on. You see, if I show standby, as you can see, right now this is in standby mode. So the gateway is stand. So this is the gateway. So this is standby mode. So now all the traffic it should be from here. It should be go to here, right? So now if we go back to the MPLS here, the California MPLS, when we show standby again, right? So this one is telling you. You see here, this router, just for example, this is the VLAN 10, and then the active router is a local, and then the standby is should be the VPS router. See, this is the VPS router. Got it?
Mm-hmm.
So, but in this case, right, it's still not running perfectly. So it's not running perfect because normally we want to be automation. If something go down, so the router can handle switching the routing between the BPLS and MPLS, right? So because we can see the topology here. See, we have a all the route. See, this is the primary is taking the Verizon backbone, and then we have a VPLS from Comcast, right? It's our backup in here. So this is the in between, like two winding type in here. But then like in this case, now what is the good like resolve like if you want to make it like automatic fail over between. So it's like seamless, right? If something say oh, we only need to receive the call from the report say hey we have some issue and then the router should be like a little bit like a heat cup. We call it network heat cup, like just like 5 second or 10 second each between, something, and it should be fail over something like that. But in this case, so we still no choice. We still need to pay someone to be online. The network engineer have to be online. We reported say, hey, we have to be as soon as possible to restore the wandling when we already discover. Say for example, the primary here is things go down, so we have to reroute the traffic is going back to the VPLS, back to the headquarters, right? So same thing again from the last demo we already performed you. So for example in here, right, we need to shut down quick in here. So for example, show first thing in here, show IP interface brief in here, right? So and then you go to config P, just for example, okay, I'm gonna just on purpose right now, I'm gonna just shut down this VLAN 10, right? So I'm gonna hit enter, shut down. See, and then, but this here is now it's become active, listening again, sending the but then, well, it's in then it's respond, right? SSRP stop talking, they are both, and then in here they should be take over now. You see, when you show standby here, you see it's going to be take over as a local, right? Because it's still unknown yet. You see, because we shut down because now this VPRS is take over now the gateway, but then in here because this link is shut down, that's why we still do standby router is unknown because we lost it. But in here, still now if we go back to MPLS router again in here, if we say no shutdown, we bring it up again, right? So now we go back to here again, Now, okay, so now we update again. You see now the router it becomes local because back to standby from unknown and then go back to to standby local again. You see the active router should be in the MPLS. So in this case, you see it just it's just so many menu stuff like that. But then do we want to have like we can this is one of the demo but I really not want the demo today for you. But then some people say okay they can use an IPRSA. This is the function for monitoring, IPRSA. You see. And then you can create the ID. So, for example, if I want the IPRSA 10, you can put a question mark in here. So hit enter. So now they have so many options in here. What kind of like traffic that you want to monitor? So for example, I want to send ping IP because like for example in here, what that mean IPRSA uh, because like for example because you want to track this link is always up, right? Or maybe you say you want to from this router you want to ping this IP address in here or this IP address, okay? Because if something go down from here and then we're going to lose the BGP, and then that's why in here you can see for example you can set up this one is the ICMP traffic echo, you see. And then so this is the IP address, for example, 152.152.2. Something, you see. Okay, if I just make, I'm not hit enter, something like this, you see, in here. And then you can tell what kind of source you want to ping, it allow you to pick up and know what kind of, if you want to use in a VLAN 10, you can use the VLAN 10 in here. So this is kind of the demo. You see, once we have an IPLSA ready, right, and then we can go to SPLSA, but we need to schedule it. You see, we need to schedule it. You see, because for example, the 10, and then start time, and then say now, something like this. You see, that is mean when you hit this enter, and then the IPLSA is going to keep sending. It depends also the timing, the frequency. Like you want to just like send it like 6 package or 10 package like that. Like it just keep monitoring that link is up and down, is up and down, or not. Like make sure it's got reply. If something's not reply, and then that's why it's going to be go down. Once it's go down, and then you can use the event tag in here, the event manager. So this is another menu command. Is what you want to do. You see, you can using the see applet here. That is telling you because for example, if I want to say SLA, so give the name, you can hit enter. Now what kind of option in here? So you can then that's what I'm saying. Then then you want to be action. You see, action something like that, or you understand because action couple thing action in here. That's what I'm saying. You can like action shut down the interface, something like that. So this is the next one I can show you when we complete the whole lab, because
Mm-hmm.
this is just the minor something monitoring, like those kind of stuff, even some those kind of like monitoring program like a SolarWind or something like that, or App Manager outside those kind of like a network monitoring too. It's very popular. They're using IPRSA for the for the monitoring for the reachability. You know what I mean? Okay, so now in here, okay, so now we already report right to our manager or to our boss. Say, hey, uh, because the boss say he say maybe he complain or he want discuss with the network engineer. No, like well, we still have a it's like SLA, the agreement, the service agreement, right? It's not like agree from different department, okay? Because they complain because they not like they cannot wait for 5 minutes or 10 minutes or 1 hour outside like that because we try to make an on call and then we try to call the page, the who is the network engineer. Unfortunately, no one can respond because they are on vacation or maybe they have like not in front of the computer. So, those kind of reason, So that's why the manager say, we still got hammer, right? We still got hammer from different like department. It's still not happy for our network. So now they come to us. So we are the network engineer, right? So we say, what can we do to reduce the time frame in here? Can we restore or can we reroute as soon possible because we have a redundant link in here, right? So we want to immediately or at least the last time frame in here should be automatic, like switch the route between MPLS and VPLS. Okay, so now in this case, right? So we're going to be let me sorry. So let me move it in here first. So okay, so that's what I'm saying. Maybe we can we look at the on the router first on the hardware, right? So for example, this hardware in here, see, oh, this will have an actual interface in here. So how about this one here? Yeah, this one have an actual interface in here. Now that's beautiful. Okay, so that is mean that we can tell our manager, tell our boss, say, how about do like this as the design, let's we run the cable in here, the, like direct. That's the point to point without going to the switch. So we go in the this guy connect to this guy. You see, we make it like this. Beautiful. You see, okay. So now we have we have a dedicate this line with this line. But this one is not crossing the switch. Okay, so this is we call directly like a point to point. Okay, that is being, but this cable, make sure, because this is a regular just RJ45 cable, straightforward, straight through cable. But this one, this type in here, so we're using crossover cable, crossover. Okay, because we get point to point, you need the crossover cable. Okay, so that's mean then they can because send and receive between these two routers. So we order crossover cable, or if you're not using RJ45, if you have a better for those kind of fiber, that's why we have those kind of adapter in here, the fiber adapter, no ST, ASP, something like that. So that is the fiber, but in here we just pretend we have a RJ45, we have a that cable. Okay, so now since we already have the cable running between these two routers, so now we need to configure the IP address, right? Okay, so now watch here. Okay, so now we go to the let's exit out in here first. So we show IP interface brief. Now we are in the MPLS router in here. You see, so now this is extra interface. Oh, or maybe it came with it. Okay, maybe say thanks God, this router can support the not actual interface just before the routing sharing in here between. Okay, so now all right. So now we go to config T, we go to the interface F1/0. Okay, so in this case in here, because this is only two hosts between, right? We don't want to so many subnet. We just want to a two host IP. All right, so we're going to be say let's bring up in here. We're going to say this is IP 96. If we're using just 192.168.1, okay, say dot one. Just for demo in here, right? Okay, so this is dot one, and then we're going to duplicate. Let me see. So this is the dot two. Okay, so just give you example in here.
Mm-hmm.
So this is dot two. This is dot two. So okay, and then in here, let's make sure it's a slash 30. Okay, so we have this. Oh, here is a slash 30. So that is mean it's only two hosts. Okay, so slash 30. So this is slash 30 network. Okay, so once we have the IP assigned, so now we bring it back again to our console. All right, so now we're still in the MPLS router. So you see 1.1.1 in here. Okay, so we're going to say, okay, we're going to put description first. This is connect, you see in here. Connect, this is like a point to point. You can say P2P, point to point, to VPS router, you see. And then you're going to be assigned IP address should be 192.168.1.1. Just make sure the subnet mask is the slash 30. Okay, so 255.255.252. Okay, something like that. So this is we hit enter. Okay, so then okay, we're going to hard code again. So 100 speed, two flag is full, and then no shutdown. So okay, so now we bring up one interface in here. So now we go back to the VPLS here. So this is the VPLS. So now we go to first thing again, show IP interface brief. Okay, same thing again. We have the label in here, the interface 1/0. So we're going to go to config key. We go to F0/0, and then we're going to description again. This is description connect to no, this is a description connect like P to P, right? Point to point to the MPLS router. You see, MPLS router. Just put some description that we understand. Now we're going to be IP address again, assign 192.168.1.2, 255.255.252. Okay. Wait. Wait a second. Why is the overlapping? What is overlapping? Oh, okay. So, because we already assign. Oh, okay. Oh, bad. Okay. So because we already take slash whole 24 with this VPLS. Okay. Fine. Okay, sorry then. All right. So now we're going to be change it here now. So we're going to change it instead like using dot one. We're going to using dot two. Okay. So we're going to using dot two here. You see. Or maybe we can because this is the maybe in the future we need more about for the router or something like that. How about we make it a 254? We start from 254. Just the very end of the IP. Okay, very end. See, in here we're going to be make it like 254. Okay, so 254. So now go back to the console again. We bring it back to here again. So now we still in the VPS router. Okay, so now we're going to change it. This one to be 200 254. Okay, speed 100, duplex, no shutdown. Okay, so now we save it first. Make sure we save it too, and then we go back to MPLS router in here. So we're going to correct this one also. Correct it. So config T. Oh, we already in the config T. So interface F1/0. Just make sure again F1/0. You don't want to override or by mistake, the other interface because make sure it's a F1/10. Yep. So we bring it back to here. So we just copy this one here and then we change it. No. Come on. Okay. Let me type it there. 192.168.254.1, 255.255.252. Okay. And then we exit out. We save it first. Okay. So now we try to ping the neighbor, right? So now we try to ping the neighbor. 192.168. You see, dot 254.2. So we get reply. Beautiful. So we got reply. We get answer back from the VPS router. So now you see, uh, from go back to topology again here. See now this link now is a variable now. So because the traffic now is can crossing this link. You see. Okay. So now we're going to be exchange the BGP in here. Okay. We're going to be exchange the BGP in here. So all right. So now we're going to say again, we show run first in here, show run section, BGP. We want to see what is the current BGP configuration. So we go to say config T here. We're going to grab this one again because we want to add the neighbor. All right. So we want to add the neighbor. So the neighbor is very clear in here, 192.168.254.2. And then what is the remote for the BGPS number? It should be 65006. You see here? Okay. So now we show IP BGP summary. We should have ready, you see, to form. Okay, ready to turn up now. So in this router is a standby. Okay, so in active mode. Okay, so now we go back to here. So now same thing again in here. Show run section router BGP. Okay, so in this case, okay, so we're going to complete T again, and then we go to the router BGP 65 in here, and then we're going to put the neighbor, and then 192, 168.254 dot 1 in this case. So we go to remote AS again, 65004, hit enter, exit out. So now we show IPBGP summary. You see? Now, look at that. The BGP between in here is up now. You see, it's up. Now, be careful now in here between this up because they both keep sharing, right? They both keep sharing. But sometimes, you see, sometimes do we have any looping? Okay, that is very, see, because when you get because the reason is why, because when this guy send it to here all the way and then come back again to here and then to here and then they come back to again, because that's why sometimes you want to make sure that your the routing is no looping between the remote office, remote colo to the data center. Okay, so now we verify again in here, show IPBGP. You see, show IPBGP in here. Okay, we are right now, we are in just the BPS router. You see, so we are in the BPS router. Look at that. Yeah. Right. So now we get more. You see the network prefix. Now on the here we're learning. See, first thing you see, we have a two path right in here. You see, because one, for example, this is the learning. You see, this is the VLAN 10, VLAN 30, right? This is the VLAN 30, for example. You see, this is the VLAN 10, right? This all here network. See, everything that you see in here, you see, everything you see in here in the black highlight in here is
Mm-hmm.
the headquarter, right? Now, this router, how is learning the headquarter, right? It's learning from the VPLS, and same thing is learning from B2P from here. See B2P from here. So I mean, okay, one is learning. See, one is learning from here because we advertise this VPS router in the headquarter. We advertise to here, and same thing again. We because this one advertised to here, and same thing we learn it again in here, right? But then the router, see, in this VPS router say, okay, they still, when they learn both, they will going to compare the metric, right? Or which one is the best path route to headquarter. But you can see in here, you can see in here, because this is the VPLS. Why this router is slack prefer to VPLS because we have let me see what I'm looking. Oh yeah, yeah. Because here you see. Oh, look at that. This one is a three. This is a three. Is this correct in here? And then this one is funny. You see this one here. This one have a shorter path, right? Now this one here is learning four. That's why this one is make sense. See, for three we don't know yet, but for three is an equal path. It's look like you see in here, but then everything you see, everything it should be shorter path in here, right? So for example, if you know if you see from the global routing, so IP route, and you see IP route or not IP route, so IP BGP. So for example, if I want to learn this, show IP BGP this network here. You see here, I want to see show IPBGP this network. You see now show IPBGP specific for this network. The table is telling us. You see, we have a two path, right? Two network path. You see, and then this is see and one and two, right? And then we know this is 152 from MPLS. And this is 190, 68.1.5. This is from the VPLS from here. But then this router say, okay, I learning, but then which one I should use? You see, you can see this is the best network. Okay, so this may order go to VPLS. You see, go to best network, right? But now, if you go back to the MPLS router in here, see, okay, we compare again. And so we show IPBGP first, right? Yeah, so we show IPBGP, same thing. We should be learn two network, right? So see, we're learning from our neighbor P2P, and then we're learning from MPLS router two, right? But then in this case, same thing in here. You see, we should be learning from the shorter path is the prefer. So the, okay. So now in this case, right? You see, do we need to worry about the SSRP? So far, we don't. It's okay because, for example, right now the SSRP is in here. All right. So now we're going to demo here, right? Just and then we report back, and then we pick up Sunday again. Nobody work on Sunday, so we can perform our DR everything. See for testing, right? For our routing, for our redundant testing. Make sure everything's okay now. Once we already add another layer in here, the layer three. Okay, so now we go
Okay.
back to the switch here. So we go back to the switch. This is the arrow switch here. All right. So now hit enter. Now we want to show IP first. Show IP interface brief. We want to use the source ping. Just for example, are we able to ping all the way back to here? Okay, all the way back to here. What is this switch here? This is this is the workstation switch. Do we have a? Did I bring up the workstation switch in here? Oh, of course, switch one. Let's bring this one here. Console. Okay, so what we have in here? Show IP in the free brief. Okay, this is 4. Okay, so for example, can I ping this one? You see? Okay, can I ping from here directly go to here? All right. So now let's go back to the core switch. Where is the switch for this one here? Okay. So now I'm going to ping this IP. You see, we're going to be using the source from this VLAN 10. All right. So that is mean give me reach out. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Okay. Do we miss it? Hmm. You see? Do we miss it? All right. So why we not able to ping? You see? Why we not able to ping? But okay. So now is that right? And then we want the either one in here, right? This either this router should be able to ping, right? So we go back to the wait a second. Uh One thing we miss about before we go more further troubleshooting, right? Because we miss one, we go back to here because we need to advertise. We need to advertise this 250 network, 192.168.254 network because we didn't advertise yet, right? So if you go back to the core switch, if you go to Delaware, the headquarter here, right? So for example here, when you show IPVGP here, you see we don't have the IP yet. You see, we don't have the yeah. You see, we don't have 192. We only have the VPLS IP. See, this is the VPLS. But we still need to learn this side. We still need to learn for the return traffic, right? Is that okay? We need to advertise first, right? So okay, let's go back to the this router here. So we run again. Router BGP. All right, we'll go back to config T. We're going to be quick first. We're going to be advertised here. Right, so we're going to be advertised Network 192, 168. Okay, duct 254 duct. This one's going to be 0 slash mesh 255 duct 255 duct 255 duct 252. Okay, so we grab this one also. Don't have to grab it. So let me see. Let me save it. So we go back to this MPLS router here. Same thing in here. So this is the router BGP 64004. We go make copy and paste this network command. Okay. So now we're going to be again in here, exit out. So now if we save it first again. So now we go back to the headquarter, right? The headquarter, if I refresh in here, now we should learning another network. Right, beautiful. You see? Okay, so do you think this is the issue? I don't think so yet, right? Because we just advertised here. So let's go back. Let's troubleshooting first again. So from here, so we go back to the MPLS router here. This is the VPS router. See, if I from the VPS router in here, show IP in the brief here. You see, if I ping the 10.100.10.4, if I want to use the source from this VLAN, are we able to ping? Mm, 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 mm. Not good. All right, so no good. So now when we go back to the MPLS router, same thing again in here. Okay, so now can we ping the 10 dot 100 dot 10 dot 4 using the source with this one? Aha, still not good. You see, we need to. So what is the issue here? All right. So what is the issue here? So now, do we have this network when we show IPBGP? Yeah, we have this network. You see, we have the 10 network, right? We have a 10 network. You see, we have a 10 network, right? It's preferred from the MPLS, right? So now, okay. But one thing is, right? So we will need to verify first. This is to make sure in here it's running first, right? Because we don't. Let's click in here. We check oh no, that is the workstation switch, right? That's the workstation switch here. See, the workstation switch is up, right? And this is up, you see. Ping. Let me see if we can ping this one from the core switch one in here. So this is the core switch one. First thing because for example, I want to ping from here first to here, make sure I can reachable, right? That's in the local network. See, ping that 100.10.4. Yeah, it's up. Okay, see, it's up. All right. So now if we go back to again in here, all right, let's do the trace route then. So let's lay okay. So let's where we stop. Okay. So trace route. So 10 dot 100 dot no 10.4. We're going to be using the source, right? So this is the source. The source will be this one. Okay. So now, you see, let's see where we go. It should be go to MPLS router, right? Because the ASRP, the gateway should be in here. All right. So let's see. 10.2, 200. Yes. Okay. And then what? Okay. Beautiful. Let's expect, you know. Let's expect the traffic is go to MPLS. Yep. And then what else? Okay. And then what else? Yep, come to this link. Oh, okay. See now, you see. Now, only come to this link. Okay. Now we have a one dark, two dark. You see. You see. We have a one dark, two dark. Whoa, oh my goodness, look at that. One dark, two dark. So in here, we go to here. All right. So what happened? You see. See. And then go to here. All right. You see. All right. You see. All right. So now, see this from the trace route. From the trace route, it seems like there's something confusing here, right? Normally we should have a perfect, we should have a no timeout like this, or because here is something that we're missing something, or we're learning something like that, or maybe do see that is a problem. Do we have a loop? Uh, see, we need to more investigate, right? Now in this case, so we study from let's say we hop in this router first from here. All right, so we go to the headquarter, the MPLS router. This is the router here. You see, this is the router. So from this router, you see here, can I ping the 10.100.10.4 using the source 10.100.3.2 with this interface? See this interface here, right? Okay, look at that. This one here have a problem. You see here have a problem. It's timeout. All right, it's timeout. You see, it's timeout. But of course, this is the layer 2 also. You have to think about this is the layer 2, right? Maybe this is the problem. We don't have the gateway yet. You see, or this we have this problem. See, we only verify from here is no problem to here, but then all here network, right? So let's change in here this network here. So this is the behind. But we should be able to, let's say, before we troubleshooting this network here, let's go back to the core switch first, right? This core switch here, show IP interface. This here, show IP interface with everything that in reside on this network. You see, this is a 10.2. Okay, if we go back from here, let's reping again the 10.2. Only from here, ping this one. Okay, so now let's go back to the switch again here. All right, oh, come on, what is the command again? Control X6, I believe. Yep, Control X6. And then say we want to ping. Let me see again here. Show IP interface. Okay, so now we want to ping 10 dark 100.10.2 from, see here. Okay, look at that. From here, it's no problem to ping to here. All right, so it's no problem to ping here. Same thing if we change it to 20 here. You see, no problem. So all the network in here, only the last and the host is only this area. But then why we cannot ping this more further, right? Because this is a workstation. This is a workstation, right? For example, if we have one users in here, right? For example, John or Mary or Peter, right? In here, this is works their PC connector workstation switch one in here. They should be able to ping anything the remote server in here. All right. So that is the issue now. So we go back to this workstation one, this here. All right. First thing,